Hello and welcome to your English news broadcast live on ERi-TV. It's exactly 10:30 p.m. on Eritrea's local time from our headquarters at Asmara with your domestic and international news in brief. I'm Zahra Badouri, but first we'll begin with your top and exclusive headlines for this broadcast. Commendable telephone service coverage. Commendable social services provision in Gashbarka region. A number of pregnant women visiting health facilities. Israel airstrike kills 26 people in Gaza City, 50 wounded as your international. And Brazil struggles with COVID-19 vaccine rollout at death toll spirals and more. Welcome to your domestic in brief. Mr. Tasfaselassie Brahane, Minister of Transportation and Communication, indicated that as a result of the over 900 million NACFA investment made, the geographical coverage of telephone services throughout the country has reached 90%, indicating that the objective of the ministry is to enable every citizen to become a beneficiary of telephone service. Minister Tasfaselassie said that strong effort is being exerted to put in place up-to-date communications technology with a view to providing timely in national and international telephone communication services, pointing out that the mobile telephone services that started with half a megabyte in 2010 has currently increased by 90% in the past 10 years. Minister Tasfaselassie said that preparation has been finalized to introduce Wi-Fi internet service to remote towns in the country and volume-based internet service to researchers and those that need temporary services. Mr. Tasfaselassie also expressed appreciation to the staff members, especially the youth that is tirelessly working to realize the objective of the ministry. The DG of the Social Services in the Gashbarka region, Mr. Franco Kubwaba, reported that the number of social services provision institutions that was about 60 before independence has currently increased to 546, and that has increased by 900%. Mr. Franco went on to say that social services institutions have significantly contributed to regrouping villages and that the number of students attending a regular school that was 12,000 has increased to over 152,000. Regarding health services, Mr. Franco said that health facilities that were confined in very few areas in the region have now significantly increased both in quality service delivery and expansion of health facilities. And currently there are 79 health facilities ranging from referral hospitals providing commendable health services to the public. Mr. Franco went on to say that with the substantial investment made by the government and the public, there are 96 transportation routes providing transportation services to the public by deploying over 400 buses. Communications coverage, especially through mobile telephones, has reached 90%, Mr. Franco added. On your final domestic, owing to the integrated effort conducted in the last 30 independence years, the rate of parental visits by pregnant women to health facilities has increased from 19% to 98% nationwide. Speaking to Arena, Mr. Efrem Zibai, representative of the Department of Family and Community Health at the Ministry of Health, stated that there were only 90 institutions providing prenatal care services throughout the country that now has reached 252, stating that prenatal visits to health facilities have increased by 171% in the past 30 years and that pregnant women conduct 4 to 8 time prenatal visits as well as HIV/AIDS checkups. Mr. Efrem reported that the HIV infection rate on women of fertility age has dropped to 0.2%. And that the number of pregnant women delivering at health facilities has increased from 6% to 71%. Regarding the treatment from fistula patients, Mr. Efrem stated that the that to treat the health challenges created due to a breach in delivery, a rehabilitation center was opened in 2018 at Mandifera Referral Hospital, and that over 1,700 patients have been treated so far. Pointing out also that out of the 2,069 women who underwent a medical treatment in 2018, 2.9% were diagnosed for low-level womb cancer, whereas 1.8% for high-level and 1.7% for very high-level womb cancer. Mr. Ephraim indicated that the Ministry of Health has finalized preparation to beginning vaccination against womb cancer in 2022 and revealed a plan to expand womb cancer tests that have been carried out at Orota Hospital only to other hospitals. Do stay with us for more with your international after this short break. And on your reports on the international line, several Palestinians killed in a new wave of Israeli raids on Gaza as Benjamin Netanyahu vows to continue attacks as long as necessary. Israel's bombardment of the Gaza Strip entered its 17th consecutive day, with air raids early on Sunday killing at least 26 Palestinians, wounding dozens more, and flattening at least 2 residential buildings. The home of Gaza's Hamas chief Yahya al-Sinwar was also targeted, according to the group's media. In Israel's Tel Aviv, people dashed for bombs shelters as serene warning for incoming rockets. Fire blared across the city. More than 170 Palestinians, including at least 41 children, have been killed in the Gaza Strip in the past week. More than 1,000 others have been wounded in the occupied West Bank. Israeli forces have killed at least 13 Palestinians. Israel has reported 10 dead, including 2 children. The United Nations Security Council met on Sunday to discuss the worst outbreak of violence in years in Palestine and Israel. Four months into COVID-19 vaccination campaign, marred by shortage and delays, hit hard, Brazil is still struggling to find enough doses as political and diplomatic blunders prolong its pandemic nightmare. Around 33 million people, 15% of the population, have received at least one vaccine dose in Brazil, a proportion still too small to have a substantial impact on the virus spread. Targeted by a Senate inquiry over its handling of the pandemic, President Jair Bolsonaro government is facing criticism for failing to secure more vaccines, including its refusal of offers to purchase millions of doses and diplomatic tensions with China that may be slowing the import of vaccine integrants. Margaret Del Colmo, a pulmonologist and a researcher at leading public health institute Firecruz, said that they do not have enough doses right now to vaccinate as fast as they should, and that they ought to be vaccinating younger people already, especially given that the younger demographic group are currently driving transmissions. But first, Brazil still has to vaccinate 80 people from high priority groups, including the elderly, indigenous people, and health workers. Vaccine doses, meanwhile, continue to arrive in a tackle throughout. The government maintains it will be able to vaccinate all adults by the end of the year. Brazil has lost more lives to COVID-19 than any country, expected to United States more than 430,000, and has one of the highest death tolls per capita in the world. Though the current wave has eased somewhat since April, the virus is still killing a strategically high number of people in the country, nearly 2,000 a day. Fighting between the Taliban and Afghan government forces resumed Sunday in the rest of South province of Al-Hamad. Office said al-Hamidi office said, ending a 3-day ceasefire agreement agreed by the warring side to mark the Eid al-Fitr holiday, as your final report. There were clashes on the outskirts of Lashkar Gah, the capital of Helmand, which has seen intense fighting since the United States began its final troop withdrawal from Afghanistan earlier this month, an Afghan military spokesman and a local official reported. Ayatollah Afghan head of the Helmand Province Council told AFP that the fighting started early today and is still ongoing. He said Taliban fighters attacked security checkpoints on the outskirts of Lashkar Gah and other districts. An Afghan army spokesman in the south confirmed fighting had resumed. Taliban spokesman Zabihullah Mujahid told AFP in a quotation that they, referring Afghan forces, started the operation and said in a quotation, "Do not blame us." The 3-day truce initiated by the Taliban and swiftly agreed to by the Afghan government largely held during the Eid holiday that ended on Sunday. The calms was broken on Friday by a blast at a mosque on the outskirts of the Afghan capital, which killed 12 people, including the imam leading Friday prayers. The Taliban denied it was being behind the attack, which has been claimed by the Islamic State group, according to the SITE intelligence group, which monitors jihadist groups. The truce was only the 4th agreed pause in fighting in the 2 decades-long conflict. Dear viewers, that is all for now with your domestic and international news in brief. Until we're back with some more news, stay and enjoy the rest of our programs. But until then, have a